Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how to calculate and create a fiscal year column from a date in Power by using DAX. By the end of this video, you'll know how to distinguish fiscal years from calendar years in your data, create clean fiscal year labels, and even build fiscal quarters, making your reports way more relevant for any business or financial analysis that depends on a fiscal calendar. Let's dive right in, starting with the fundamentals. First off, you need to know your fiscal year start month. This can be different for every organization. While many default to January, it's actually really common to see fiscal years that begin in July, April, or even October. Why does this matter? Well, the way you calculate which fiscal year a date belongs to depends entirely on when your fiscal year kicks off. For example, if your fiscal year starts in July, then July 2025 doesn't belong to FY 2025, but actually to FY 2026. Here's a simple rule of thumb. If a date falls in the start month or any month after, you bump the year forward by one. So a date like December 2025 with a fiscal year starting in July actually ends up being part of FY 2026. Take a moment and double-check with your finance team or documentation so you know the right start month for your business before going further. This part's crucial. Next up, we're going to create the fiscal year column using DAX. You'll want to do this in your date table. Trust me, having a proper date table makes everything easier later on. Add a new calculated column called Fiscal Year, and here's the DAX formula you'll use. Start by declaring your fiscal start month. For example, if your fiscal year starts in July, set fiscal start month equals 7. The logic works like this. Look at the year for each date and then check if the month is on or after the start month. If it is, add 1 to the year. If not, leave it as is. Behind the scenes, here's what's happening. Suppose you've got June 30th, 2025. June is before July, so it belongs to FY 2025. But if you shift to July 1st, 2025 or later, it rolls over to FY 2026. This clever DAX formula does all that heavy lifting automatically. Don't worry if it seems abstract now, it's super flexible, so if your fiscal year starts in a different month, just change the number from 7 to something else like 4 for April. Give it a try and watch how your data immediately realigns. Now, let's make your fiscal years even easier to read by creating a fiscal year label. This is a small touch that pays off big in reports because it'll label each year as FY 2025, FY 2026, and so on instead of just a number. Use this formula, type FY, then concatenate it with the result of your fiscal year calculation. This way, your visuals, filters, or slicers become much more intuitive, and anyone reading your dashboard will immediately know you're talking about fiscal years rather than just the calendar years. If your analysis needs to go a step further and you want to break down data by fiscal quarters, that's easy too. Just build a fiscal quarter column in your date table. The logic here is to shift the months according to your fiscal year start and then assign every 3 shifted months to a quarter. For example, July, August, and September become Q1 if your fiscal year starts in July, even though for the calendar year those are Q3. It's a neat calculation, and while the formula looks complex with MOD and roundup, just remember, its goal is to align your data analysis with however your business tracks performance. This part might require a little patience the first time you set it up, but it really pays off. Last step, don't forget to actually use these fields. Add the fiscal year or fiscal year label to your slicers, filters, or any visuals that group your data. Once you do this, all your measures from revenue to headcount will summarize by your custom fiscal years and quarters instead of the default calendar ones. That means your stakeholders get numbers that actually line up with how your business runs. And that's it. With just a few calculated columns, you've transformed how data is viewed in Power BI, making your dashboard speak the language of your business. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button, drop your questions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more practical Power BI tutorials just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.